Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Mike McCarthy is the producer behind the boards. It's that time of the year where we go through all 32 teams with our 7-round mock draft. And before we get started, let's take a look at the mock draft rules. First, these picks are based off what I would do as the GM of the team, not based off what I think will happen or what will actually happen in April's draft. And we use Football Game Plan Scouting's prospect rankings and big board, which you could find at footballgameplan.com/FBGP scouting. These picks are based off what I believe the team needs are, and there are no trades in this mock draft. And finally, it's only a mock draft, so you can relax that sphincter and enjoy the video. With their first pick coming in round 2, the Browns still land a very good prospect in DeAndre Baker out of Georgia. The talented and brash corner has the right attitude to thrive at the position. He also has the ball skills and instincts that I like to see out there on the perimeter. So does Iowa's Amani Hooker, and watching his tape, you just come away in awe of how instinctive and fluid he is as a defender. He's exactly what you want in a combo safety. Outside linebacker Sutton Smith was one of the top pass rushers in college football last season, and I think as a Sam backer, he'd be a good fit in Cleveland, especially providing good depth behind Jannard Avery, who's cut from the same cloth. Cornerback Blashawn Alston out of Rutgers would also continue to add quality depth on the corners. I think he could even have a home as a safety down the line. I was at the Rutgers Pro Day, and I thought he moved extremely well for a taller defensive back. Defensive depth seems to be the key here in this mock draft, as Mack Wilson was my selection in round 5. Wilson, to me, could also be a potential starter for Cleveland in the middle of their defense. I thought Connor Dentino was outstanding at the Tropical Bowl in January, and I went back to check his film during February, and what he did in January actually matched up what he's done throughout the course of his career at Pitt. I think he's an underrated interior offensive lineman in this draft class. In the 6th round, I wanted to bolster the special teams unit and depth at receiver with Justin Christian out of Marist. He was one of the more explosive wideouts coming out of the FCS ranks this season, had a great week at the College Gridiron Showcase, and is one of the better returners in the draft class. And wrapping up the Browns draft with the highly productive quarterback selection in Devlin Hodges out of Samford. I like Hodges' game, and it's honestly a cross between head coach Freddie Kitchens and Baker Mayfield. Hodges broke Steve McNair's all-time FCS passing yardage record this past season en route to winning the Walter Payton Award, which is the FCS equivalent to the Heisman Trophy. I thought he performed well at the Tropical Bowl and gives the Browns a prospect that stylistically fits what they want to do offensively, who has a ton of game experience. So that's a wrap here from the Football Game Plan Scouting Studios. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts. Don't forget to check out and subscribe on iTunes to Football Game Plan Podcast, where you can find our Scout Team podcast, which features a bunch of prospect interviews from the 2019 class. And as always, subscribe to the Football Game Plan Network, located at youtube.com/footballgameplan.